Hi, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching. This is Money Wellness. I am your host, Ray Wheeler. I am a licensed financial coach. This is your first time. Hi, thank you for checking me out. If you're a continued viewer or subscriber, thank you. I appreciate all the love and support. What I like to do on this channel every single episode is I like to meet. That means I like to motivate you, educate you, empower you, and hopefully that leads you taking to some actions in your life that will make you and help you rise above your situation. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about Black ownership. So what I'm going to give you guys for motivation of the day is a song by Kirk Franklin, and it is called "Wanna Be Happy." And it states, the truth can hurt you, or the truth can change you, right? But what would truth do to you? And if you keep on doing things and these things that you're doing keep bringing you pain, right? Then how are you saying you want to be happy, right? Do you want to be happy, right? And if you are tired of going in circles, if you're tired of making the same mistakes over and over, right? But you don't make changes, there's no one else to blame, right? So then you have to ask yourself again, if I really want to be happy, right? And so the thing with this song, it's so powerful, is that I've spoke about this before, that at the end of the day, it's you that has to make the changes. It's you that has to make these sacrifices to get out of the situation you're in. And the hardest part is asking for help, because we're so prideful and it's so hard for us to sit there and ask for help. But if you're doing the same thing over and over and not getting ahead, right? What is the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result, right? So if you keep trying to do these things by yourself, it's not working. Maybe it is time to reach out for some help, right? So I've also let you guys know that at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with making a mistake, right? You need to make mistakes to learn, right? But if you're continually making those mistakes, right, now you're choosing, right? And it's hard for you to blame someone else for the circumstance you're in, right? So, Black ownership. How many Black businesses are in America, right? 140,918, right? And to put that into perspective, that is 2.3% of employee-owned businesses, right? And what an employee-owned business is a business that actually has employees, right? So this is someone who's not an independent contractor or someone who works for themselves, right? These are businesses that have multiple employees, right? And to put that, so like I said, if you know anything about our census or population, right? African Americans make up 14% of the population, right? So 2.3% is really small. So what do the other races do, right? Well, the whites are 75% of the population, right? And they have 85%, right, of employee-owned businesses, right? Asians, they make up 6% of the population, yet they have 10% of the employee-owned businesses, right? Hispanics and Latinos, right? They make up 18% of the population, and they have 6%, right? So we're falling behind there, right? And you're probably now thinking of, man, well, what would it look like if we as African Americans were able to sit there and hit our population, right? What if we were able to have 14%, right? Well, we'd be able to add 798,318 jobs, okay? We're able to add almost 800,000 jobs. What would that do to your community? What would that do to our purchasing power? What changes would be able to be made, right? If we were able to do those things. So it's really important, right, for us to get that ownership, right? We're falling behind there, right? Why are we falling behind? Well, a survey was done by a small business survey was done, and it surveyed the credit scores of business owners, right? And African Americans were at the lowest with a credit score of 677, which 677 isn't a terrible credit score, right? But the lower your credit score, right, the higher the interest rate is going to be on whatever loan you take, right? So if you're trying to expand your business or start your business or need materials or equipment or anything like that, right, and you go get a loan, it's going to cost you more to get that loan, and that makes it very difficult, right? The next thing is financial challenges, right? In 2019 and 2020, right, African Americans, 85% and 92%, they were having financial challenges, right? Now, everybody was starting to have financial challenges, right? This was COVID. But if you went and looked at the other races, right, in 2019, they said only 70% was a economic well, they were having financial challenges, right? And then in 2020, they went up to 88%, right? Now, what if COVID didn't happen, right? Well, they were fine in the 70% financial challenges, which isn't great. That's still high, but it's not 90 and it's not, 85, right? So they were still able to have a room to overcome those financial challenges, right? The next thing this survey asked was what percentage use their own personal finances to help support their business, right? And overwhelmingly, right, African Americans, right, 65% said they'll use their own finances to help their business, right? Well, we already know that our income is lower, right? And that we're already having financial challenges. So now you're taking your own personal money and trying to help boost up your company. And what's going to happen is instead of just your company failing, right, now you're failing and getting deeper in debt too on a personal level, right? And so it just becomes all bad to do that, right? So how can we go about fixing this, or where is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Well, the light at the end of the tunnel is one of the largest companies in America, right, is a company called Worldwide Technologies, right? And it is owned by an African American. His name is David L. Stewart, right? And that should give you hope that, hey, this African American man can have one of the largest businesses, right? Now, when you go and you say, man, but it's so hard to become a millionaire, right? Well, honestly, there's 614 billionaires right now in the US, right? But unfortunately, right, there's only 9, right? And there was actually only 7 in 2020, right? So you guys probably are going to know a couple of these names, right? Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, David Stewart, who I just told you guys about, Robert F. Smith, and then we just added Rihanna and Alex Corp, right? So those are it. Out of all the billionaires in the US, it's those 9, right? And so you're thinking small that, man, it's so hard when there's tons of billionaires, right? You probably thought there was only a couple billionaires in the world, right? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, because that's who we hear about all the time. And then, Jay-Z, Oprah, Jordan, so you guys probably thought there's probably only a handful, right? But in the whole world, there's like 3,000 billionaires, right? So it's quite a bigger number than you think, right? So it is a possibility, right? It's a small population, but it's still a possibility that you can do it, right? So to fix this, or to go about fixing this, guys, right, what you need to do and the actions that you can take is to get educated, right? So we have to understand how money works. If you don't understand how money works, then you're just setting up to fail, right? Business is already hard, right? So if you don't already have your personal finances in order and understand how to control your own personal finances, then the finances of your business, you're basically setting up to fail, right? Because on average, right, in the first 2 years, 20% of businesses, they're failing, right? In the first 5 years, 45% of those businesses are out of business, right? And then if you're lucky to make it 10 years, only 65% of businesses make it, right, to that 10-year mark, right? So there's a lot of failure, right? And the hard part is especially those, like I said, those first couple years when you don't know what you're doing, you're trying it out and stuff like that, and you're not making money. That's natural, right? like naturally you're not supposed to just make money right out the gate. You're not going to start sitting there and, next thing you know, you're in the stratosphere of billionaires and millionaires, right? It's hard, right? So the top reasons why it's hard: you didn't do accurate marketing, right? Or not marketing, but I would say market analysis, right? You didn't figure out enough about your market and who you're selling to and your consumer, right? Second thing is a failure to have a business plan, failure to have goals and direction, right? I've spoke about this before, that most people don't plan to fail, right? Most people fail to make a plan. Same thing in your business. You fail to make a plan, how can you expect to be successful, right? Your finances, we kind of stated that earlier. You have an inability to have enough money to finance or keep your business going, so it folds, right? You don't have enough marketing or a good presence. People don't know who you are. People don't know how to get to you. Things like that, right? If you have a bad location, if you're a restaurant and you're on a highway that no one uses, right, that's dead, right? You have nothing you can do. Thankfully, the internet allows you to get more of a presence and get yourself out there, right? The next is your inability to adapt. Things are changing constantly in every single different industry, right? Your ability to adapt to those. If you don't adapt, then you're going to sit there and you're going to fail. So you have to try to learn to adapt, right? And then the last thing is, like I said, people get thinking that they're going to make money right away, and unfortunately you expand too quickly, right? You bite off more than you can chew, and then you fail because you got too big too quick, right? Now, all those things, if you have a good business plan, helps you, right? If you have a good business plan, right, you can fix the how fast you grow, right? Because you're going to have a plan. You can fix the ability to have a good location, bad location, marketing presence, right? You can do that. Your financing, how much money you're needed, right? If you have a good business plan, you know your numbers, you set yourself up for more success, right? So it is possible. And how I'm going to help you guys out and the action that I would like for you to take if you are interested in starting a business or just learning more about what it takes, I'm going to post a link down below to the Small Business Association, specifically the minority section of it, to help you. And then on this link, there's going to be different ways, it's going to be different educations to tell you about places that you can find program, mentorship, and things like that, right? So it's a very valuable source to use for you to do this, right? You can do this, right? It is possible. If you have a dream of something that you want to do or create, go ahead and do it. Take that leap of faith, right? I believe in you. If no one else today believes in you, I believe that you can accomplish that goal that you're looking for. If any message I've said here today has resonated with you, or you feel like someone else that you know needs to hear this message, I ask you to please share it, like, subscribe so that you can get other videos, get education more on the topics I talk about to help empower you and then help you rise above your situation. I thank you for your time. Stay blessed and keep chasing your dreams.